Right now, somewhere near you, someone is about to yawn. You'll feel it before you understand it. Your jaw will loosen, your eyes will water, and within seconds, without meaning to, you'll do it too. This isn't tiredness. This isn't boredom. This is one of the oldest, strangest behaviors your body still performs, and it's older than language, older than fire, older than your species itself. But the real answer is far stranger than "you're just sleepy." You yawn about 20 times a day. You've done it since before you were born. Ultrasounds show fetuses yawning inside the womb, weeks before they've drawn a single breath of outside air. Dogs yawn, cats yawn, snakes yawn, fish yawn. Every vertebrate on record does it in some form, going back hundreds of millions of years. But something strange happens only in a handful of species. Something that has nothing to do with oxygen or sleep at all. Watch a chimpanzee yawn near another chimpanzee. Within moments, the second one yawns too. Watch your dog yawn after you yawn at it. It happens more than chance would allow. And watch what happens in a quiet room full of humans when one person can't hold it back. The yawn spreads like a whisper passed hand to hand. Nobody chooses it. Nobody can stop it. Why would evolution build a behavior that jumps from body to body like that? For a long time, scientists assumed yawning was about oxygen. Low oxygen, high carbon dioxide, deep breath to reset the system. It's a tidy explanation. It's also wrong. Researchers tested it directly. They had people breathe pure oxygen, then breathe air high in carbon dioxide, then exercise until their lungs were working overtime. None of it changed how often people yawned. Your body wasn't gasping for air. It was doing something else entirely. The psychologist Robert Provine spent decades studying yawning when almost no one else took it seriously. He found something the oxygen theory couldn't explain. Blind people yawn when they merely hear a recording of someone else yawning. You don't even need to see it. You don't need to be in the same room. A voice, a sound, sometimes even reading the word yawn in a sentence like this one is enough to trigger it in you right now. Did you feel it yet? Most people do, somewhere around here. So if it isn't about oxygen, what is it about? One of the leading answers comes from a researcher named Andrew Gallup, who proposed something almost mechanical. Your brain runs hot, like any dense piece of biological machinery working nonstop. Blood flow, chemical activity, constant electrical signaling. All of it generates heat, and your brain performs best within a narrow temperature range. A yawn, in this theory, is a cooling system. The deep inhale, the stretch of the jaw, the increased blood flow to the face and skull. All of it works like a small radiator, flushing warm blood out and pulling cooler air in. Gallup tested this in a clever way. He had people hold either warm packs or cool packs against their foreheads while watching videos of other people yawning. The people with the cool packs yawned far more than the people with the warm packs. Their brains, already cooled, had less need to trigger the reflex. It's a small, strange study, but it points to something your body has been doing quietly your entire life, adjusting its own internal temperature without ever asking your permission. But temperature regulation alone still doesn't explain why yawns are contagious. A cooling mechanism doesn't need to spread from person to person. Heat regulation is private. It happens inside your own skull. So why does watching someone else yawn make your own brain reach for the same reflex? This is where the story turns towards something older and stranger than biology alone. Something social. Contagious yawning isn't universal, even among species that yawn. Human infants don't catch yawns from adults until around the age of 4 or 5. Before that, the reflex exists, but the contagion doesn't. Something has to develop first. Something related to how well a young brain can model another person's internal state. Researcher Atsushi Senju studied this in children with autism spectrum disorder and found a striking pattern. Children who showed less contagious yawning also showed differences in how strongly they oriented toward the eyes and faces of others. The yawn, it turned out, wasn't just spreading through sound or sight. It was spreading through empathy. Think about what that means. Somewhere in your ancient nervous system sits a switch that fires not when you personally need to cool your brain, but when you perceive someone close to you doing it. Your body is quietly asking a question it never puts into words. Are you tired like me? Are we entering rest together? Should I follow? Primatologists have found the same pattern rippling outward across the social world of chimpanzees. Franz de Waal's research teams observed that chimps were far more likely to catch a yawn from a chimp they were closely bonded with than from a stranger. Family members, grooming partners, friends, in every meaningful sense of the word. Strangers barely triggered the reflex at all. The yawn wasn't spreading randomly through the group. It was tracing the exact shape of who trusted whom. Now step back 300,000 years. Picture a small band of early humans, maybe 20 or 30 individuals, moving together across open grassland as the light starts to fail. There is no fire yet in this scene, or maybe there is, just beginning to flicker. There is no language as you'd recognize it. What there is vigilance. A group that size survives by staying synchronized, waking together, resting together, noticing danger together. A yawn rippling silently through that group at dusk wasn't a random twitch. It was a signal, passed wordlessly from one nervous system to the next. Time to lower our guard together. Time to rest as one unit, not as scattered individuals vulnerable alone in the dark. You still carry that circuitry. It never got updated. It never needed to be. So when you sit in a meeting and your coworker yawns and you feel that same pull rise in your own throat, you are not being rude. You are not bored, necessarily. Some ancient, wordless part of your brain has just registered a bonded member of your group signaling fatigue, and it is asking automatically, silently, whether it should follow. This is also why the people around you matter more than you'd expect. Studies consistently find you're more likely to catch a yawn from family and close friends than from a stranger sitting the same distance away. Your unconscious mind is running a constant, invisible calculation about who belongs to your circle of trust. The yawn is just one place where that calculation becomes visible, stretched across your own face for anyone to see. There's something almost tender in that, once you notice it. A 300,000-year-old thread of trust, still running quietly under the surface of an ordinary afternoon. You don't decide to feel connected to the people whose yawns catch you. Your body decides for you, faster than thought, the same way it always has. So the next time you feel that pull begin, that tightening jaw, that watering eye, before you even know why, pause for 1 second before you let it out. You are not simply tired, you are, in that instant, doing one of the oldest social things a human body knows how to do. You are quietly telling the people around you that you belong to them. And somewhere deep in a part of your brain older than words, you are asking, without asking, whether they feel the same tiredness you do, whether it's safe to rest, whether you are still, after 300,000 years, exactly where you're supposed to be. You never noticed, but your body always has.